How to walk steady. Hi, my name is Doug. I've been a physical therapist for 30 years and I specialize in helping people with balance problems learn to walk again. In this video, I'm going to talk about walking steady. If you feel that you're not walking as well as you used to be able to, then this video is going to really help you. I'm going to show you 5 things that anyone can do to improve their steadiness when they're walking. Whenever you walk, your feet should fall one in front of another. If there were a line down the path that you're walking on, your feet should fall on either side of the line, basically one foot falling almost exactly in front of the other foot. The problem is, many people shuffle while they walk. When you shuffle, your feet are wider apart and they're not falling one foot in front of the other. People do this because they're either afraid of falling and their walking is more stiff, or they're afraid of standing on one leg. Normally when you walk, you have to balance on one leg to put your other foot in front. This is considered normal walking and is the strategy of walking that allows you to easily adjust to changes in your environment and react if you're at risk of falling. If you watch normal gait, you'll notice that the person is shifting their weight from side to side as they bring one foot in front of the other. When you shuffle walk, you're no longer shifting your weight. Instead, your feet are going further and further apart and you're not lifting your feet high above the ground. Not only does this make it more likely that you can catch something with your foot, but if you have to adjust your balance, it's a lot easier to shift your weight and move out of the way of something or avoid an obstacle with this gait pattern. Ideally, the safest way to walk is with a tandem gait pattern, one foot in front of the other. The number one reason that people fall is because when they turn, they cross their legs. There was a study done in Great Britain where they looked at videos in nursing homes. And what they found was that when they looked at all the falls that the video recorders showed, that most of the falls, like 80% of the falls, the person crossed one leg over the other and then fell. If you're walking and when you turn, you cross your leg over to make the turn, that's a very dangerous thing. And I've seen a lot of clients do that on their first day in my office. So that's something that I work with every client, is teaching them to turn basically with their legs apart. So your feet should never cross when you turn. So if you turn to your left leg starts the turn and is what's lifting off the ground when you make the turn. Your right foot should not cross over your left to turn to the left. You should never cross your other foot over to make a turn because it's highly likely that you'll fall if you do that. And if you practice turning correctly, then a lot of times that will become your habit. So whenever you turn to the right or left, you want to take a wide turn. You want to have your feet apart because that's a way to guarantee that you won't fall. Walking with a slight bend in the knee. Whenever you walk, whenever you step forward and put weight on one leg, your knee should not be hyperextended. Some people call this stiff leg walking, and you commonly see it with people that are fearful of falls or who are afraid of putting all of their weight on one leg. Normally when you walk and your heel hits the ground, your knee needs to be between a 5 and 15 degree bend. Whenever you take a step forward and your heel hits the ground, your knee should be at a 5 to 15 degree bend. This is considered a normal walking posture. The reason for the bend is that you want to be able to quickly react if the ground is uneven or if you're surprised by something in front of you. If your knee is slightly bent, it's a lot easier to shift your weight to the other leg and adjust your walking. If your knee is straight or hyperextended, you must first unlock your knee in order to adjust, but also you're putting a lot more pressure on your joint and especially your meniscus, which over time can lead to problems and even arthritis. Ideally, you should only walk with a slight bend in your knee. A lot of people walk without an assistive device, but some of them really need to use one. If you're finding that you're not walking as much because you feel unsteady, but you're not using a rolling walker or a cane, you might ask yourself the following question. When I go to the supermarket and I'm pushing the shopping cart, do I feel more steady? If you feel more stabilized, more safe, more balanced when you're pushing a shopping cart than when you're not, then you probably need a rolling walker or a cane. And I know a lot of people might smile when I say that. Some folks might get upset, but it's true. Most people don't feel more stable when they're pushing a shopping cart. I don't. When I walk with a shopping cart, it feels to me the same as when I'm walking. But if you feel a big difference, then what that should tell you is you need something to stabilize yourself, to give you more points of contact with the ground so that you feel steady enough to walk in a normal fashion. And if that describes you, then using a walker or a cane would actually help you, because then you'd be able to walk more. One thing to consider is this. If you've slowed your walking down, or you're just not walking as much because you're afraid of walking or because you're unsteady, if you use a walker or a cane and it allows you to walk more, your balance might improve enough that you no longer need that walker or cane. Don't look at using a walker as something that you can become addicted to or something that's going to make you worse. It's a fallacy that walkers make people bend forward or walkers make people worse. The truth is, people that need a walker, people that are already bending forward, are already having difficulty with their walking, they're the ones using a walker. So it looks like it's causing it, but actually that's the thing that's helping them. If you use a walker and you can increase your activity level, increase the number of steps you take in a day, you could actually get so much better at walking. Your balance could improve so much that you could get rid of the walker, or at least go from a walker to a cane and then to nothing. And I've seen that happen time and time again. But you won't believe how many people refuse to use a walker because they don't want to be seen using that, or they're afraid of it. And then their balance and their walking diminishes because they're just not walking enough. Probably the best thing that you can do at home to prevent falls is to practice balance challenging activities. Time and time again, when I talk to people in my office who first are sent to me because they fell, when I ask them, why do you think they fell? They always tell me the same thing, that over time, they're just less and less active, and most of them have gotten to the point where they're mainly sitting and they're only getting up to go to the bathroom or to go to the toilet. A lot of people, just like her, avoid walking because they're so afraid of falling. But actually, that's what causes people to fall more and more as we get older. You have to practice things that challenge your balance. And just walking on level ground or walking around our house is really not enough challenge to improve your balance. You have to do something, such as exercises that I do on my channel, to challenge your balance. You have to practice standing with your feet close together, standing on one leg. You have to practice walking backwards, walking sideways. All these things are important for us to improve or even just maintain our balance. Okay, we're going to practice single leg stands. You're going to grab the back of a chair, put one foot on the ground. You're going to shift all your weight over that foot, lifting the other leg up, leaning to that side, and then try to let go. You can keep your hands over the chair if you're worried, but try to let go and stand as long as you can on one leg. Your goal is 20 seconds of standing before you have to grab on and do the other leg. And you want to do that on both legs, right and left. My knee is a little bit bent to protect my joint and help my balance be a little better. And you know, your feet are going to wiggle a lot when you do it. That's normal. Now, at home, you might be really struggling with this. You might think, let go, and you immediately fall back down. Don't be discouraged. A lot of people tell me, I can't do that, so I tell them what to do and they don't practice. Like, I can't do that exercise, too hard. This exercise isn't meant to be easy. And when I give that to my clients, I'm giving it to them because I want them to practice standing on one leg, because I want them to repeatedly challenge their balance, even if it's just for 2 seconds. But a lot of people at home, they might think, oh, because I can't do it, that this is too hard for me. The reason you're having trouble is you're not shifting your weight over your other leg enough. When you stand on your left leg, you got to shift your body weight over onto the left so that both your hips are centered over your left leg. If you're not doing that, that's why you're falling back down the other way. And if you want to stop and rest at any point, please do. You can stand and rest or sit down and rest. But do try this for the full 2 minutes. And you notice I'm not really doing 20 seconds because I'm trying to demonstrate it, but at home you could definitely do it for longer if you can. I think we just have, this is the last one actually. We'll just stand on this leg. It's such a great exercise to improve your balance. And we're done. I hope you found this video helpful. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. Here's a new course that can help anyone regain their balance. This program includes 30 different workouts, one a day for 30 days, that will help anyone who has problems with their walking, their balance, and their stability, not only improve their balance and their strength, but improve their walking.